whenever I inquire, who am I understand maybe at an intellectual level, I'm
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If X person says, "Well, I did it and it worked for me and I transformed," so be it. But you can ask that question all you want, and it's just going to get you to intellectualness. It's all it's going to do. And so I think that's what human beings have to understand. They don't have to force the understanding upon themselves, because that doesn't work. But through some form or fashion, in some way, at some time in their life, the realization has to dawn that all these things, and even what you're saying now, you got from a book. All these things that who am I and spirituality and self-help and uh, they seem to be sacred cows, but they're complete falsehoods. The content itself may not be false, but it being presented as a methodology is completely false. One could say, get into the present. No, that isn't false, but go ahead and try. So to actually say that is, it is simply an unserious person who would say that. And so you have to understand that people just like to talk, do this and do that, and things that sound nice. But no one ever realized, like genuinely achieves or has a complete realization of the very things that they high-mindedly speak about in these spiritual books. No one's enlightened. They just talk nonsense and rubbish. It just sounds nice and it's flowery, and you can put it on Instagram and you can put it on the board and on bumper stickers. But you can ask these things till the cows come home, and at the end of the day, one must examine the evidence for themselves. Are there Buddhas walking around, despite the fact that the Four Noble Truths have been on the shelves for thousands of years? You know, these things don't work, and human beings are continually moving towards them as if they do, and every single one of them fails.
so. If I can ask another question, just real quick, that in itself, like understanding that in itself, that it's such a subtle prescription that I'm doing, that my sincerity is basically not authentic.
Well, it isn't that subtle. I mean, it isn't that subtle to do a spiritual prescription. To ask yourself, who am I? Okay, you go ahead. I mean, once again, never believe me. Go ahead and do it. Say, I'm going to do this for 6 months or a week or one day. See where it gets you.